be able to joining us today for the talk. Okay, so once again, thank you very much for joining us today to yet another SPE Kuala Lumpur MIT Technical Talk Series. We are now in talk number 6, and the topic for today is digital framework in the oil and gas upstream industry. Our speaker for today is Mr. Sujit Kumar, who is connected to us all the way from Mumbai in India. Before I begin, may I request each and every one of us to connect with us via LinkedIn to SPE Kuala Lumpur section for updates and also news about all our activities. Most of our activities are free of charge to members and also non-members alike. All these previous talks and also all the other Zoom call and also engagement previously from the talk number 1 and also several of our SPE YP activities are available in YouTube under the SPE Kuala Lumpur channel. A bit of housekeeping rules. The lecture will begin shortly, and we will have from 40 to 50 minutes of lectures, followed by questions and answers. After the end of Q&A, we have a photo session. Therefore, please get yourself ready for the photo session, and then followed by a Kahoot quiz for 10 minutes. Although this session is one way, we also encourage this to be interactive. Therefore, if you have any questions, please use the raise hand feature to speak to the speaker. This session is being recorded, and later on during the Q&A session or during the talk itself, if you have any question, feel free to write a question in the chat box, and we will raise your question in the end during the Q&A session. At the end of the Kahoot quiz, we have only one winner. The winner for grabs is 50 ringgit e-cash voucher from Touch 'n Go or also Grab. And the lucky winner this week will have to stay on the line to introduce yourself and also to give your contact details to us. I now invite Raji from SMS Sand Management Services to give a short talk about SPE membership. Please welcome Raji.
All right, thanks, Ms. Moderator. Hi, everyone. A very good afternoon. As addressed, my name is Raji, and I will be giving a quick brief through on introduction to SPE membership. Next slide. So just diving in through, without further ado, we'll begin with a professional benefits being part of SPE as a professional member. So as you can see on this slide, there are various benefits itself, starting off with being eligible to provide mentoring. Moving on, being an ambassador, lecturer, and volunteer in any SPE-related events. You'll also be able to receive accreditation, free access to SPE Paper 6 annually. This gives you a close benefit to get updates on the industry day-to-day, or I would say yearly updates as well. You're also eligible to obtain professional networking. Here, you're able to expand your professional circles even bigger. You receive independent insurance, free education, and last but not least, receiving the visibility as you further expand your network professionally. Moving on, next slide, please. Apart from our professional membership, we are also open to students. So as student, what makes it great is that right now we're having free membership for all students. And what are the several benefits that you will be receiving as a student is first off, receiving mentoring from professionals themselves. You are also eligible to obtain scholarship and fellowship. And not to forget, you're also entitled to take part in major SPE-related competitions, which one known is Petrobol that we often do as part of SPE itself. Next off, you're also entitled to take part in student paper contests. And I think what's even better here is that you're also entitled to receive career guidance from professionals and experts to keep you aligned with the industry itself. And last but not least, being eligible to go for field trips. Pretty exciting. Moving on to next slide. So what makes it even better right now to join SPE member is that being aware of the current pandemic and the crisis that we are going through, SPE have taken consideration and came out with 3 extra benefits. First off, a reduction of 50% in fee for all Malaysians. Next, free renewal membership for those who have lost their job due to such unfortunate pandemic right now. And last but not least, SPE is also providing insurance programs for all SPE members. Just a little note on the right on the screen that you can see is that members who are transitioning from student to professional membership upon graduation, you're eligible to receive the first year of SPE professional membership fee for free. So this would only include JPT online, and then whereas after graduation, after the second year onwards, you have to pay the fee as presented on the left side of the slide. Next slide. So wait no more, and right now what makes it even exciting and attracting is that SPE KL is currently having a promotion at which 2 lucky winners will be selected and you can walk away with a Fitbit watch and as well as a chance to present at one of SPE KL activities or events. So grab this chance right now and sign up. So that's all for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Raji, and what a nice presentation for SPE membership. I hope all of you will be able to support us. The fee for professionals is not expensive these days. It's $20, and most of you who are still lucky enough to be able to still in employment, you know, most of the companies are, you know, be able to pay for the membership. Okay, moving on to our topic for today's digital framework in the oil and gas upstream industry. So a bit of abstract is what's the topic of today is very much about technology. The digital framework facilitates the systematic understanding. I seem to have lost my, hang on. All right, okay, sorry about that. Okay, digital framework facilitates the systematic understanding of digital technologies and their application. What it is also a digital framework is a structured and top-down method for creating a comprehensive roadmap for transforming into a digital enterprise that continues to develop and innovate with speed and scale. So it's a bit of a mouthful to understand. But we also hear about digitalization lately in terms such as machine learning, artificial intelligence, robots, cloud computing, blockchains. What are these? And how are they related to the oil and gas industries? So I'm pretty sure today we're not going to hear about TNAF and also simulation and also decline curve, but we're going to hear more about this topic and how this relates to the oil and gas industry. Okay, what are the benefits of going digital? These benefits are it helps to increase productivity, ensure safer operation, and also to lower the cost. So the speaker for today comes all the way from Mumbai in India, Mr. Sujit Kumar. Sujit Kumar is currently working with SAP Energy as a digital industry expert consultant. Previously, he had a long career with Schlumberger as a petrophysicist, beginning in India and later on in UAE, Qatar, and also Oman. He holds master's degree in engineering geoscience from Indian Institute of Technology in Kanpur. With over 13 years of experience in leading and managing projects and businesses, he also has a strong emphasis on technology and business development. Therefore, without further ado, let me welcome Mr. Sujit Kumar. Sujit, the floor is yours.
Sujit, I believe.
Sujit?
It's muted.
Disconnected. Okay.
Oh, it's muted.
Muted.
It's muted. Yes, thank you. Thank you for such a great introduction. Let me share my slides. So I hope all of you can see my slides. Once again, thank you for such a great introduction. I'm honored to be here and delighted to welcome you all in this presentation. As we know, today we are living in the era of disruption where digital technologies are playing a crucial role. Today, every sector is trying to become a 21st century industry. And aspirations are very high. Now, the basic question is, what is the difference between 20th and 21st century industry? The simple answer is it's digital capabilities. This essentially means is 21st century industries would be able to capitalize the digital capabilities uh, and become special in what they do in their business. So in this process of transformation, they will realize their Uber moment. So basically, when I say Uber moments, a moment that signifies the way Uber has transformed the taxi industry. So, and the industries, they would not be able to capitalize over the digital capabilities. They will stay as a 20th century industry. So let me begin my presentation by conveying my special thanks to SPE Kuala Lumpur and in its members for providing me this platform and allowing me to speak on the topic. So today I'm going to talk about the digital side of oil and gas industry. Kindly note that whenever I'm referring to the word oil and gas industry, that means I'm going to talk about oil and gas upstream business. So I'm particularly passionate about digital framework of oil and gas industry because this is the this is the topic which gives us a broad sense of many things. So basically, if I have to pick up the three most important thing is, as the first thing is this digital transfer, this digital framework that talks about uh, means what are the different technologies which is more relevant to oil and gas industry. As we know today, we have more than 400 technologies are available in the market. Out of those 400 technologies, we are only interested in few technologies. So definitely we have a one adoption model. So definitely we are going to talk about this adoption model in this framework. And then third thing is when we apply this digital technology in our industry, we have to face certain challenges. So we will talk about those challenges and how we can overcome those challenges. So this is all about digital framework. But before taking a dive into the digital framework of oil and gas upstream business, I would like to talk about oil and gas industries aspirations and where it want to be, and in this journey where we are standing today. So energy sector is not different than any other sector. It also aspired to become a 21st century intelligent energy solution provider from its past 20th century energy provider. So in order to do this, we need to understand our potential and capabilities of this digital technologies or digital innovations and what these technologies can do for us. So now if you look at the digital vision, this is the only key component which will take us from 20th century energy industry to the 21st century energy industry. So these all are great things, but we need to think about our potential and our strength. So let's talk about our potential and our strength. So I'm happy to share with you that oil and gas upstream business is completely rich of data. We have ubiquitous data laying everywhere. Data is coming from sensors, data is coming from the equipments, data is coming from assets, and we have huge amount of massive data. This data is not huge in volume, but it also complex as well as we have variety. Second thing is we are putting all the sensors and Internet of Things across the systems in processes, in equipments, in assets, everywhere. So we are developing ultimate connectivity in our industry. And today world has a great processing power. And with the help of machine learning and artificial intelligence tools, we can simultaneously process complex data, which is a bit difficult for the humans to do. And we should not forget that industry itself has a more than decades experience to process these complex data sets. So these are the strengths. Now, if we talk about what we require actually to become digital, first thing is data, second thing is connectivity, and third thing is analytics in the form of this processing, right? So now, if we understand these things, this inspires us to become a digital economy or 21st century intelligent energy solution provider industry. So far, we understood our potentials and digital capabilities. Now we need to understand what is our preparedness, where are we, and how much we need to be done. So now the good news is we are through this transformative process from the quite some time. The interesting thing is we started this journey somewhere in the late 90 and early 2000, where we started putting sensors across the tools and processes and different equipments, assets everywhere. And we started generating huge amount of massive data. And at the same time, we started integrating processes across the disciplines. And then after that, we started integrating different disciplines as well. And then we started standardizing everything in the industry. And the entire period, somewhere around from starts from early 2000 to 2014 to 15, many literatures this quote as a digital oil field 1.0. And then after that, the second phase starts somewhere around 2014 or 2015, where most of the literatures that points out this era as a digital oil field 2.0. In this era, we started using capabilities of machine learning and artificial intelligence, which are essentially we used for processing and interpretation of the data. And at the same time, we started using other technologies like robotic process automation, blockchain, cloud computing. So now, if we think the entire journey from early 2000 to till now, basically what we are trying to do, we are trying to build a efficiency and effectiveness in the operations. We are trying to build operational capability. What we essentially are trying to do, we are trying to generate a data and then analyzing that data and feeding the insights in back into the business to get more value and reduce the risk. So in this process, we are going to attend operational excellence. So this is the entire objective of this process. So once we have operational excellence, this is in digital form called building operational backbone. So we strive to achieve this operational excellence. But we need to take one thing in. We need to understand one thing. It takes long time to build, and we need to put hard effort in this process. So the entire transformative journey where we are trying to build operational excellence is actually a digital transformation. Once the industry is efficient and cost effective in operations and core processes, we are actually ready to become a digital economy. As per the Dr. Jenny Rose, principal research scientist at MIT slogan, she describes a digital enterprise is a totally different phenomena. It means rapid innovation. It means more experiments and generating more value proposition. So in simple words, if you have to understand what is a digital enterprise, this means data enriched, technology and software enabled industry. So from this slide, it is very clear that we are in the path of digital transformations. Once we attain the operational excellence, then we will move ahead to become a digital economy. So we took some time about to know about what is digital transformation, what is digital enterprise, and in the entire journey where we are standing today. Now it's a time to understand what are the different technologies, what are the different digital innovations which are helping us, which are relevant to oil and gas industry. So, as I earlier said, first of all, this digital framework of oil and gas upstream business gives a very good idea about this. So let's begin with this one. So you can see this figure where it summarizes the most of the technologies we are using in oil and gas industry. In the background, we have data. That's the most important component in blue color. Then after that, we have Internet of Things, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and robots. So as we know, data is the most important thing in our industry, and we are generating massive amount of data. Then after that, we have Internet of Things. Uh, Internet of Things are devices or sensors we attach to the different processes, equipment, and tools. And mostly this data is used for this maintenance purpose, maintenance of the assets and facilities. Then after that, we have machine learning and artificial intelligence capability, which process and generates a huge amount of data that has been generated through this sensors and sensors and Internet of Things. Then we have robots, robotic process automation, and bot system, which are precisely used for back office or front office tedious jobs. And the entire thing is underpinned by cloud computing. So the primary use of cloud computing is it works as a storage for the huge amount of data which we are generating every day. And the second thing is it is a host for many tools and technologies like machine learning, artificial intelligence, robots, and bot systems. Then after that, we have blockchain. Blockchain is essentially technology which prevents us from cyber attacks. And then we have enterprise resource planning, ERP systems. So ERP systems are basically connecting the processes, systems within the industry. It's integrating everything essentially. Then we have a softer side of this digital framework that is called agile methods, a new way of working. And then after that, change management. And most of the people in the industry believe most of the digital projects are actually change management problem. Now let's look at these each element little bit in deeper details. So first we will start with the data. As I earlier pointed out, data is the most important thing in the digital framework. So data is actually a lifeblood of a digital framework. And as we know, we are generating huge amount of data as an oil and gas industry. So I will take example of two systems from where we are generating this kind of data. First system is subsurface assets. We are generating seismic data to logging data to drilling data. We have generating huge amount of data that is not only complex in nature, but also it has variety and massive in amount. So now we need to understand this data is very valuable for the industry because it this data is actually used for evaluation and for economics. And a second type of data I would like to discuss about that's generated through the SCADA systems and the edge devices that is fixed at the end of the businesses. This data is mainly used for for maintenance purposes. And the challenge with this kind of systems are these systems are not well connected and very poorly designed for sharing the data. And as a result of this data cannot be transformed into cloud systems, and we cannot interpret this data there. But industry over the period of time has developed edge computational devices which works in the field. So as we understand a little bit about the data, let's go to the next element, that's the Internet of Thing. Internet of Thing, which we fix with the different process technology and equipments and generate huge amount of data. Internet of Things are considered to be a point of weaknesses in digital framework, because it's a prone to cyber attacks. And the second most challenging part to deal with Internet of Things are these are not pretty standardized. And as a oil and gas company, we pretty much like to work with the things which are a bit standardized in nature. And after that, we have machine learning and artificial intelligence engines, which are used to process and interpret the data which has been generated through the sensors. And the biggest capability of these systems are it can process a complex amount of data parallelly. And if I talk about technology wise, it can be scaled anytime. That's not a problem. So this also, as I explained before, this also hosts means many type of tools, and also host means bot engines that are based on artificial intelligence based technologies. And right now we have one more new technology I can talk about, that's computer vision. Computer vision is essentially doing that's converting maps and figures that are laying as a paper form into the digital. Then we have a third component, that's robots and RPA systems. So basically, when we say robots and robotic process automation, we have bot also in that. Essentially, robots and robotic process automations are used for front office jobs. So when I say front office jobs, so that means we are talking about the operations. We need to understand the operations are a bit complex in nature. Therefore, human safety is prime concern. So robots and RPA systems are used in those places which are remote and a bit hazardous for humans to work. And now we have bot systems, which we are utilizing this bot systems for back office jobs. And essentially, this reduces the cost from 70% to 90%. And it works on most of the tedious and cumbersome routine jobs. So then we have cloud computing. Cloud computing is primarily used for hosting these technologies, machine learning, artificial intelligence, bots, and robotic process automation. Then after that, it is used for storing data as well. Have blockchain. Blockchain technology is that is providing sense of safety in industry, because as we are dealing with digital, we are going to be digitalized more and more, and we are prone to cyber attacks. So we are attracting many bad actors actually, and this blockchain technology saves us. So if I have to discuss briefly how this blockchain technologies are working or saving us, so basically blockchain technology, the software which generates thousands of copies of the data and distributes in different computer systems all around the world. And we don't know the location of those systems. So basically, if somebody has to change the data, it cannot be changed until data which is distributed in all the computers are changed, which is little bit impossible to do in current scenario. So now the third thing is enterprise resource planning softwares. As we know, these softwares are industries using these softwares from the long time. And this is basically integrating different processes, technologies within the industry. But if we talk about the new generation ERP systems, which are cloud enabled, and it is supporting the new technologies like blockchain and data visualization and machine learning and artificial, those engines. Now we are going towards the a little bit softer side of this framework, which is agile and people the change management. So basically, in industry, we are traditionally we are working in waterfall method. The beauty of waterfall method is it provides complete and reliable products. But the issue with this issue is this workflow is if we talk about the digital changes, these are very rapid. Speed is very high. Now we have to match this speed. Either we need to match or exceed. So we need to build a new thinking or new way of working. So agile is the answer. So now if we talk about the change management, so as I pointed out earlier, many people, they believe that most of the digital changes in industry are change management projects. What essentially we are trying to do here is, so if we talk about any solutions or products, it has two aspects. One which deals with the proper engineering aspect, perfect engineering solution, and second one is dealing with the human side. Means if you have created a solution that needs to be adopted, that needs to be accepted. So this change management focuses on second one. It focuses on human part of any changes. Now, as we have seen all the different elements, all the different digital innovations that matters for oil and gas industry, now it's time to look at how these different technologies or innovations are changing the digital landscape. So so changes are not limited to this slide only. Definitely, every day we are discovering places where we can apply these technologies. But this slide pretty much covers most of the things. First thing is smart contracting. So now if we think about, our industry is heavy with this contracts, this agreements. So whether it's service contracts like drilling, logging, or facility contracts, or we have or sometimes we have to deal with complex tax systems, and then after that we have to deal with this royalty systems. So keeping this in mind, smart contract has been prepared, and essentially this works on the database, blockchain database structure, and the software works when the certain conditions of the contracts are met. It automatically works. It automatically moves ahead. Uh, Now, the second thing is manufacturing industry. So this digital technologies, these are encouraging all of us to behave like a manufacturing industry. Now, just to give you one example of what I mean when I talk about this encouraging us to behave like a manufacturing industry. For example, when we talk about when we deal with every well, we deal every well as a project. it's special to us, and every well is a project. But these digital technologies are encouraging us to deal with this wells as a manufacturing industry. Means every well is going to be same like a car industry. Like car industry produces thousands of cars um, in similar fashion. So so these technologies are also encouraging us to adopt this mindset of manufacturing, mindset of manufacturers. Now, the third thing is machine learning and artificial intelligence analytics. So basically, now if you think about these analytics, so if I talk about applying these analytics in the subsurface data sets, so if I apply this data sets, first of all, as I said earlier, parallelly it can process many complex data sets, and it encourages us to integrate all the data sets so that we can have faster decision making, and we can utilize the entire data sets. And the biggest objective of using machine learning and artificial intelligence in our subsurface asset is to increase productivity and reduce the cost. Now, if we talk about use of this machine learning and artificial intelligence in other area, the second area is, for example, predictive maintenance. So we have huge assets and facilities, and we are collecting data through the sensors. And when we analyze those data, we can use those data for predictive maintenance. And nowadays, we are moving ahead from the predictive maintenance to the prescriptive maintenance. And definitely many companies are in our industry are experimenting with this prescriptive maintenance. So now the next thing is data into the clouds. Actually, it's a huge thing. It removes the necessity of the cost which required to build massive data centers. Now, clouds are cost effective and it is scalable. So that is the biggest advantage when we talk about clouds in terms of data storage. Clouds are not only used for the data storage, it is also used to host different kind of tools and technologies which are required to operate in today's environment. Then we have RPA system. When I say RPA system, that means robotic process automation. I mean to say is it's all about the robotics and automation and bot systems. So as I pointed out earlier, means it has a focus in two areas. One is operations, and second one is back office jobs. Now, if we talk about operations, many people in the industry believes with the help of robots, we can automate the entire field operations, and we are not very far from those days. And the benefits are huge. First of all, those operations are somehow dangerous. It has a safety concern. And second thing is with the help of robots enabled on artificial intelligent engines will improve the processes which might not be possible for humans to do. Now, in this process, we have automated field operations. Somehow, automated field operations is also related with robotic process automation. So basically, as I said, means many people believe the entire field operations can be automated. I would like to take one more example, that is the drilling operations. In the industry, drilling is very expensive affair, and many people try to improve these processes. So using this artificial intelligent tools and somehow the latest technologies like gamification, we can improve the automation in field operations. And definitely there's a lot of examples are available today, and we are trying to reach to the point where entire field is automated. So with this, somehow, so far we have talked about the first element of digital framework, which talks about what are the different technologies or innovations, digital innovations that are essential for oil and gas industry. And now we are going to focus on the second point, how we are adopting this innovations, digital innovations. Some of the research that are showing that today in the world we have more than 400 digital innovations are available. But if we talk about oil and gas industry, we are not adopting or we are not experimenting with all the innovations. We have selected certain, and we are working with that. So this digital adoption model somehow tells us about how we are adopting those technologies, and in future, what should we expect? Means what are the new technologies we expect to adopt? So this is basically this diagram is basically taken from the bits, bytes, and barrels. This is a book written by Jeff Kin, and it has actually two axes. The horizontal axis is maturity of the technology, and the vertical axis is the impact of technology. Now, if you talk about this maturity of the technology, actually it depends on many factors. For example, first is age. So, this maturity depends on how old this technology is. And second thing is standardization. As I talked earlier, oil and gas industry believes in standardization. We believe in those things which are bit standardized. So definitely the technology which has been standardized, we put trust more on those technologies. Then after that, resources. Resources means in the industry whether we have the talent which understand those technologies, and if they can implement that technologies in our industry. If we have a shortage of those resources, those talents, so definitely our we need to acquire those talents and need to retain in our industry. And the third and the fourth factor is industry experience. Now, if we talk about the industry experience, essentially what we are trying to say, if oil and gas industry have some experience, past experience of that technology or not. So basically, I would say these are the four factors which decides about the maturity of the technology. Now, the other axis is the impact of these technologies in our industry. So, and here also we have several factors which decides the impact of those technologies in our industry. First is value to industry. When I say value to industry, what I mean by this is, for example, if we find a certain technology which helps us to recover more percentage of oil from our reserve, and we have another technology somehow it is automating automatic let's say job of two people. So for us, first technology which is helping us to recover more barrels from the asset is more valuable. So this is what I mean by value to industry. And the new business model potential. So now the impact of these innovations can be recognized by the fact whether this technologies has potential to develop new business models. if I take you, if I take just one example that is coming from the downstream industry, and probably I'm taking this example because it is very easy to understand. Nowadays we are talking about the electrical cars, right? So so when we are talking about electrical cars, we are essentially talking about the charging stations as well. So the technology we are using in this one encouraging us to adopt a new business model. So so let's move ahead on the third, that is adoption and growth. So the impact of technology can be seen through the adoption, and it has been somehow clubbed with growth as well. Means what is the rate of adoption of these technologies, and how these technologies are growing across the industries. So basically these are the factor which defines impact of technology in our industry. Now if you think about this diagram, so the outer layer which is showing means technologies which has a high impact, as well as they are quite mature. So now if you'll find cloud and ERP systems are somewhere in the center. So that means we are we can say this is the mature, as well as this technology has a high impact. So definitely as an oil and gas industry, we will put more trust on those technologies. Now if we think about blockchain technology, which has a high impact again. But now if we talk about the maturity side, is it has low maturity. So as we see in the industry, blockchain technologies are still building, and we find some of the applications like developing smart contracting, as I discussed earlier. So now if we move ahead to the another layer, inner layer, that is that is somehow hosting the technologies like bot, Internet of Things. So bot and Internet of Things are highly means highly used in our industry. I would say bots are used for the back office jobs, which are pretty tedious and cumbersome in nature. Now, if you think about the Internet of Things, this is also devices and sensors which we are used to collect the data. Just to reemphasize one more point, when we talk about the Internet of Things, basically we see two challenges when we are dealing with this one. First thing is we consider this as a point of weaknesses. That means these Internet of Things are prone to digital attacks. And second thing is somehow these devices lack standardization. As a result, building unique products or systems with this IoTs are a bit challenging in nature. And this system is not a great system which host IoTs are not connected so well. So data sharing is always a issue here. Now, if we talk about the two other technologies which did not we talk about before, first is gamification. Gamification is the technology which has high maturity, but if you think about the impact, it has little impact so far. And gamification is the technology which is used for the games, video games, and we are using this technology for let's say training purposes. And but most of the technologies, they feel that these technologies can be used for improving our operations, field operations, which will encourage first of all, this gamification process will be in the form of game. First this
Have we lost audio?
Hello, Sujit?
So it's not only me, yeah?
No,
Okay.
let's wait for a few minutes. While we wait for Sujit, just want to remind everyone, if you have any question, please do type in your questions in the chat box. We'll try to get back to you ASAP. Sorry for the inconveniences. Hi all. We just received confirmation from Sujit that he lost connectivity and is joining us back in 1 minute. Hi all. While waiting for Sujit, may I ask help from everyone to give us some feedback in the form provided in the chat. We have a link to the feedback form. Yes, so please give us a thumbs up. Really sorry about this. And if we still not get connected, I think we will continue with the Kahoot in a few minutes time. Thank you. Okay, I think while we're waiting, is it okay if we do a quick, a group photo? Really sorry about this. Is it okay if we have group photo? And I guess everyone who's here, please turn on the camera, and then we take a group photo while waiting. And if the speaker is not here yet, we can continue with the Kahoot. Thank you. Faiz, can you take picture, Faiz?
All right, sure.
Thank you. It's funny because we're talking about digital transformation, and then we get disconnected call.
It happened, yeah.
It happens.
Smile to your camera 2 times, yeah? 1,
Yes.
2, and 3.
Wait up,
Maybe
maybe 1 more
doing
minute.
in together mode? Do we have?
Yep, I will do the together mode now. One more time. We have more people. 1, 2, and 3. Can I get one more? I think we have
Yes.
one gallery view as well. It looks good. Large gallery. Okay, last one, everyone. 1, 2, and 3. All right, cheers. Thank you so much. Back to you, Rose.
All right, thank you, Faiz. Okay, now since I think Sujit is still having problem with connection, if it's okay, we can start with the Kahoot games for now. I think we got the gist of what he's is trying to deliver. So please whip up your phone. I'll set up the Kahoot game right now. Open up. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Awesome. So every week we have been offering 50 ringgit voucher, cash voucher from SPE, courtesy of SPE, and it's still on. Get the mode gallery. All right. So let me share my screen. This sound. Okay, so can everyone see my screen?
Not yet. Okay.
Can hear the voice as well, the sound?
Yep.
Okay. So the Kahoot code for today is a bit weird, 70628. We have Yoda, Amy, Vinyan, Pfizer. Wow. Anybody joining in? So usually the Kahoot quiz are already easy. I almost win it, every week I'm almost on the podium. Easy peasy. But I skipped the last question just to give chance for you guys to win.
We have Sujit back in the call.
Then
Yeah, I'm
Sujit
back.
back in call. Hi, Sujit.
Yes.
We decided to go on with the Kahoot game for now, and then we
Sure.
come back to Q&A. It's okay.
Sure. Just I have one or two more slides to go if you allow me.
Okay. All right. This will be quickly. I think we give it another 1 or 2 minutes. Can we have 20 people on the Kahoot game, please? Anyone else is joining us? Please go to kahoot.it and key in the code 70628. Aha is joining us too. I think Aha is a winner last week. Or a close contender. Okay, anyone else? MCO. So today is the very much into COVID-19. So we have Sinovac, Pfizer, Moderna, and MCO. So guys, can we start now?
Yep.
Okay, let's start. Good luck all. So today we have 12 questions and 50 ringgit e-cash up for grabs. All right, let's start. So first question, keep your hands on the phone. What are the three capabilities that must be present in order to designate? Sorry?
You're not sharing your screen for Kahoot.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You're losing time.
Wait. Okay, am I not sharing?
Yeah, you.
I'm really sorry.
I think you exited the game in total. Is it or
Alright.
is it just me?
Okay, let's start again.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I've been disconnected from the game as well.
Yeah. Can you see the screen? Can you see my screen?
Not at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
That. Check the sound.
Okay, back.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. 6. Let's start again.
Okay, new code.
You code 4296236. We had 21 just now. Let's wait for another 21 to come back.
We're missing one people.
Okay, Mamma Mia. Okay, I'm going to start and hopefully, can you still see the screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, awesome. First question, what are the three capabilities that must be present in order to designate a technology or product a digital? All right, I think everyone got it right. Computation, analytics, and connectivity. Congratulations. Next question. FP tax in the first place. I think I know who that is. Second question, which technology has the ability to protect digital oil and gas surface from cyber attacks? Clouds, robots, or blockchain? Okay, most people go for clouds, but the answer is blockchain. It's really close. Let's see who's on the podium. Ashraf is taking the podium as the first place. Congratulations. 10 more questions to go. What is the new way of working in the oil and gas business as a result of the digital technology? Agile, waterfall, or no particular method followed? Awesome. We got a clever class today. Most people choose Agile. Ashraf is still number 1. What are the fundamental laws that governs the digital innovation? Moore's law, Metcalfe law, or all the above? I.e. them. Okay, congratulations. Most people choose both Moore's law and Metcalfe law. Question 4. Now we go to question 5. Ashraf is still number 1. What is thought to be the lifeblood of digital? Is it oil, data, or machine learning and AI? Most people, most of us choose data, but some have ML and AI, right? And mine, let's see who's on the podium. Ashraf is still uncontested. Let's try in the next question. Where did the concept of big data come from in the oil and gas industry? So big data, is it from subsurface data? The big data does not exist in oil and gas, or data generated by SCADA system? Close. Half of the class chose subsurface data and the other half chose SCADA system, but the answer is all that subsurface data. So next question. FP Tech is getting the lead now. Next question, what is change management all about? Creating perfect engineering solution, how to achieve success, or preparing people to adopt solution and providing support? Okay, usually long answer is the right answer most of the time. So for this case, we got the right answer, preparing people to adopt solution and providing support. Okay, 5 more questions to go. Ashraf is taking back the lead. Question number 8, which oil and gas asset will be easy to convert to digital? Greenfield, brownfield, or organic asset? Okay, wow, a lot of people chose both greenfield and brownfield, but the answer is greenfield because it's pretty new. Therefore, it's easy to impart changes when it's new. FP Tech is now the lead, and I'm number 2. Yay. Okay, the next question, question 9, which digital technology is mature and has significant impact in oil and gas industry? Is it IIoT, robots, or cloud? The answer is cloud. So most people, sorry, half of the class choose cloud, the other half is IIoT. It's no problem, it's really close. FP Tech is still number 1. I hope Ashraf do make a comeback. Question number 10. Who is most suited to create an effective business-driven digital roadmap? Is it IT and expert, business and digital expert, all of them? Okay, so both of them, most of us got it right. Both the IT, OT expert, and business and digital expert will work together to create an effective business-driven digital roadmap. FP Tech is still the lead. We have 2 more questions. All right. What is the most important use case for machine learning in upstream oil and gas? Interpretation of subsurface and drilling data, optimization of existing oil and gas well, field, monitoring application. Faster you answer the correct answer, the faster, the bigger it's your score. Therefore, if you know the answer, please guess the answer quickly. So the answer is interpretation of subsurface and drilling data and not optimization of oil and gas wells and production fields. So last question. I hope you guys ready. FP Tech is still in the lead. I'm back is coming close. All right, hope you guys ready. Question 12. What is the best use case for robots in the oil and gas industry? Speed is the answer here. Say get to the highest mark. Aerial inspection of well, backup scope, or cybersecurity. Most of us get it right this time, which is aerial inspection of wells. I think that's the end of the Kahoot game. So who's in the podium? AZ, AstraZeneca. That's 3. Kilo, number 2. And number 1 is FTech. Right. Congratulations to FTech. All right. Thank you very much. Back to you, Sujit.
Thank you.
How many slides do you have more, Sujit?
I have 2-3 slides, but mostly I'll talk about one more.
Okay.
I will not take much time. So basically, I guess I was on this slide when I got disconnected. So I have pretty much covered this slide. So basically, this slide says what are the different technologies we are adopting. So we evaluate these technologies on this figure on the basis of maturity and impact. Now, means when we are implementing these digital technologies in our oil and gas industry, we are facing certain challenges. So let's talk about this one. That is the last point of this digital framework. First, whenever we are trying to implement these technologies in our industry, we have to decide whether we need to go for front office first or back office first or both. We need to think about the advantages and the challenges brings to us. For example, when we are implementing these digital technologies in the front office, when we say front office, that means it's related to the operations assets. So if you're applying these technologies in the front office, definitely it's more rewarding, but at the same time, this can be a bit complex, and this can be costly as well. But on the other hand, if we apply this digital technologies on the back office, then probably it's not that rewarding as compared to the front office. But applying these technologies would be very simple, and we can see the results in a couple of weeks. So investment is also low. So basically, before we design, basically we need to think in this way, whether we want to apply in the front office or back office, or we would like to go both. So then second thing is team organization. So for digital projects, how our team composition has to be, this is very important question when we are implementing any changes. So it should consider IT IT professionals. When we talk about the IT professionals, essentially that means the people they deal with ERP systems, emails, and web services. And then OT professionals, That means the people they are dealing with operational technologies. When we talk about operational technology in oil and gas, that means we are talking about the SCADA system. And people they are dealing with the SCADA system, or people they are dealing with data acquisition systems. And the third is business, this digital experts, or I would say this is business digital experts, and the fourth component is business experts. So definitely business experts are very important, because they will provide a sense of understanding what is the problem industry is facing, and accordingly we will prepare solution. And then moving ahead with the third, agile and waterfall. As we have seen, basically traditionally we are following waterfall method, but this digital transformation, it encourage us to use agile method. And fourth is cybersecurity. Cybersecurity means blockchain has a crucial role to play here. Then after that, change management, as we discussed earlier, change management it has to do with the people and their behavior, and how management has to deal with it. And then sixth is talent issue. Definitely, if digital technologies are new in our system, so definitely we might face challenges. Means talents who understand this technology and can implement this one. So these are the challenges, and these are the some use cases in oil and gas industry, which is used on a regular basis. I'm not going to go on each and every one. So basically after that means the key points is we are in the journey to become digital, and we are in the path of in the journey of digital transformation, and the goal of digital transformation is to achieve operational excellence. And once when we achieve the become we can think about the digital. And when we talk about the digital enterprises, that means we are talking about rapid innovations. People are ready for more experiments, and we are adding new value proposition around the products and services. And then oil and gas basically trust more on those technologies which has a high impact, and at the same time which is mature enough. And in this category, this cloud and ERP systems are falling means fulfilling all the requirements. Then we have every digital project is a change management project. As a result, it must be handled with the caution. And then to keep up with the pace of digital changes, the industry must embrace new ways of thinking and working, as well as adopt the agile method. So with this means I pretty much covered what I have to talk about. And before today we leave this presentation, we need to think about means at what stage of digital transformation we are in, whatever we are doing. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you, Sujit. Can you see the chat box as well?
Yes.
Okay, access the chat box. Okay. So we have a few questions coming in. The first question, I think this is the first question from Amir Hisham from Innovim. As an advocate of visualization, I am dismayed that it's not considered as part of the digitalization journey. VR, AR is not only for gaming, oil and gas also needs it, but not part of the digital innovation that matter. So the PDCC, Petronas Digital Center in Tower 2 has VRR app. The PRSB has a VR lab, remote and autonomous operation for RAO will need visualization on the asset. So he is requesting for comments from you. Any comments on how digitalization has been embraced by similarly in India, maybe?
Yeah, so if we talk about VR and AR technologies, so basically this is a part of artificial intelligence, right? So basically, it's not possible to talk about each and every technology, but largely when we point out it's a part of artificial technology, it's coming in that framework. And when we talk about this framework, we basically focuses on those technologies which are mature in nature, and at the same time it has a high impact, right? So means if you think about this cloud system, that pretty much cloud system and ERP system, that comes in top if you compare among all the technologies in this space. I hope I answered his question.
I would disagree.
Go ahead, Amir. Your company is doing VR, AR.
Yeah, and that's why I say we are an advocator. It is if it's for one, I don't think that statement is correct. It's not part of AI. It's not artificial intelligence. You need someone to wear the VR headset or device to actually view it. And some companies, including Petronas, for example, are going into remote operations. So if you want to perform remote operations, but you don't have visuals on your assets, that won't work. You have data, fine, that's fine. We all agree with that. But you need to be able to see, have a view of your assets, especially if it's offshore, right? So to me, it is, and I put, I included a link in my comment saying it is important. So I don't know why in your presentation it was not included, and I disagree if it's part of AI because it's not. You actually need human to use it. And the same thing go for AR, augmented reality, for example, that can be used for maintenance. You will need someone to actually do it, but you will replace the old way of working, for example, where you log data or readings or whatnot for inspection using pen, paper, and all that. You can actually use an AR, grab information from your SAP, as your CMMS, for instance, and update it immediately to the cloud. So I disagree. I fully think that visualization is important. And if it's not important, then maybe you will not show a presentation. Why you show a presentation? Because that's to enhance what you see, and that's visual. So I would argue the same argument that visualization, many technologies, one of some, the few ones are the VR, AR, or even 360 virtual tour, for example. So I would say it's important, and it's not part of AI.
So, anyways, thank you, Amar, for your comment. Definitely means I understand this visualization technology is important technology, and I would say definitely many companies, leading companies, are using this technology. So I'm not saying this is not important, but what I'm trying to say today, we have many technologies which are used by oil and gas industry. But if you think about pointing out all the technologies in such a short presentation, that is not possible. So here we are taking the larger picture, and we are talking about, for example, if you see in AL and machine learning space, we are using many things right now. We are experimenting actually. We are not in that initial stage. So definitely, I somehow agree with you. I'm not saying that this technology is not important. Definitely, it's important, and many companies and industries using this upfront. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Sujit and also Mr. Amir Sham. We got a few questions coming in from Ifat Mazli. Thank you for the insight that you shared. The question is, with digital adoption in the oil and gas industry to collect and store data now with digitalization, how we compare the success rate of oil exploration in 10 years back and now? I guess this is to say, is it worth it? Is there any difference with digitalization and normal way we did before?
Sorry, this question is for Ifat, right?
Ifat, yes, correct.
So yes, so I understood your question. So basically, you want to know what is the impact of this distillation in exploration. So just give you one statistics means probably this statistics is coming from McKinsey. They have predicted this technology will play a role in what you call unconventional, and that will improve the reserves from 5 to 10%. Okay, when we say 5 to 10%, that might look very little, but when you convert that in terms of dollar, that 5 to 10% increase in revenue, that translates into 30 to 35 trillion dollars. So this is the impact of this digital technology, impact of digital technology in oil and gas industry. So I just took one example. In the same way, means there are different areas where means we need to see its impact in long term. But we need to think one consideration. We are still not digitalized. We are in the journey of digital transformation. That means we are trying to build our operational capability. We are not efficient and effective yet.
I see. Okay, so we're not. The summary is we're not effective yet in digitalizing the oil and gas industry to make a fair comparison between now and then, right?
No, basically, I'm sorry. Means when I say we are not yet effective and efficient, means we did not reach to the point where we can say we have attended the operational excellence. Definitely, we are improving every day. We are improving, and we are moving ahead, and we are much better than the past. But we need to think that the point we are talking about, that's operational excellence, we are yet not there.
Okay, so it's a long way to go for us to achieve
Yes.
That operational excellence. Okay, the next question is from Mr. Sudip Suresh. My question to you, as we spoke about security in IoT, would it make sense if the IoT layer of communication is set up within the organization intranet system, the way the layer of security is secure within the organization cybersecurity bubble? What are your thoughts on that?
So yeah, basically, if I say how the present system is working, so as I commented, means IoT systems, basically, definitely it's a point of weaknesses in the entire digital framework. But at the same time, the systems which are using IoTs, they are not well connected. So therefore, data cannot travel to the cloud system for processing and interpretation. So now what industry is trying to develop, we are trying to develop many device computational means edge computational devices, which works online, offline, the data collected from the IoTs and process them. So second problem with IoTs are it is not standardized yet. Means definitely means over the period, over the time that will be improved. But we need to understand these technologies are not grown in our ecosystem. It is coming from outside. So definitely it would take some time to improve.
Okay, thank you for the explanation, Sujit. Another question from Mr. Sudip. In blockchain smart contract development, simply put, the current contract are being digitalized into code. Can this smart contract usage be done in other ways rather than blockchain?
So basically, when I talk about the smart contracting, means I took just one example of blockchain, how the blockchain is used in our industry. Definitely, we have many other examples. And when you say how smart contracts can be used in in oil and gas industry, other than blockchains. I'm not sure about what we are trying to say. If you can elaborate a little bit more on this one.
Sorry, Sujit.
Means sorry, my voice is echoing. So what I say, if Sudeep is there, can he comment on his last point? Can smart contract smart contracts can be used? Smart contracts uses be done in other ways than blockchain.
I think if we have Mr. Sudip is still online, maybe he can unmute and speak directly to speaker. Okay, if not, then maybe we can.
Okay,
move
so
to the,
basically
yeah.
what I understood with this question, let me explain. I am maybe correct or may not be. So basically, when we say that this is smart contracting, smart contracting is built on the top of this blockchain database. The reason is this contracting is somehow confidential. People don't want to build this contracting simply on the software because they feel insecure. So that's why we are putting this in smart contracting codes on the top of blockchain so that it can have safety and it can act when the certain conditions are met.
Okay, Sudip just now trying to unmute, but he cannot be heard for some reason. That's okay. So the last question from Mr. Bernard Rafi. To produce the same amount of oil in 10 to 20 years time, do you foresee an organization change, meaning you need lesser people to compared to today? I guess this question is based on with digitalization, do you need lesser people compared to current way of working and maybe compared to 10 years before this?
So basically, definitely, I understand from where this question is coming. Most of the people means they are worried about oil and gas industry. The way this is going means many people believe we might not require people. But I would say means definitely these changes are there from the long time. Means as I said in my presentation, this digital transformation is somewhere going on since early 2000, and still we have a quite a long way to go. And means if you think about means certain things which are getting means automated, but at the same time we need people who can run those systems, who understand those systems, who understand the business. So definitely I would say when we talk about the skill sets that are going to be changed. If we talk about petrophysics, I'm talking about petrophysics because I was petrophysics at one point of time, and still I am petrophysicist. Means definitely the way we were using the data, now we are using the same data, but with the machine learning or artificial intelligence capabilities, right? That gives a more insight of the data, and probably we can integrate those assets datas to have more to have better vision and to help our industry in a much better way.
Okay, thank you, Sujit. I think that's all we have for Q&A. I think if any more questions for Sujit, you can connect to Sujit via LinkedIn, Sujit Kumar Sarkar. That's his full name from Sype Energy. Uh, Therefore, I guess thank you very much for all of us, and I do apologize on behalf of SPE Kuala Lumpur for a slight glitch in connectivity, but I think the main thing is we got the ideas, we got the main ideas. The topic has been delivered successfully, and we had a Q&A answered, and also the Kahoot game we had a winner, so everything is done as per expected with the pictures. That's fine. So thank you very much, everyone. And for those of you who wants to take another group photo, please stay on, and especially the committee, SPE committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Oops.
Are you doing together mode, Faiz? You're muted, Faiz.
I'm so sorry about that. I was talking. Yeah, let's to those who will be able to open your video, let's have another session. And what we can do is perhaps later on edit from the previous photos and with this one. Thank you. Okay, so count. Let's take two of this photo. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, the important one is Sujit photo at this time.
Yes.
we got one slot already, but one more together mode. Let's do that. Thank you. 1, 2, and 3. All right, I got it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Faiz.
Yeah.
Sujit, what